Some shocking facts about China. Number 1. Religion repression. The Human Rights Watch report emphasized the government's alleged repression of religious groups in the country. Many other organizations and media outlets, including Amnesty International, the BBC, The Guardian, and the New York Times, have covered the issue since then. Most of you have probably heard of the Uyghurs, an isolated ethnic minority in western China. The Uyghur are a small, mostly Muslim ethnic group. According to the UN Human Rights Committee, approximately 1 million Uyghurs are currently being held in re-education camps indefinitely. And it is exactly as bad as it sounds. People appear to be subjected to totalitarian indoctrination in an effort to erase their identity, language, culture, and religion. All of the allegations have been refuted by the Chinese government. Nonetheless, in 2017, President Xi Jinping issued a directive restricting religious practice to 5 officially recognized religions, labeling many religious groups not under government control as evil cults. This enables the state to harass the aforementioned groups. Number 2. Suppression of dissent. Human Rights Watch, an international non-governmental organization that conducts human rights research and advocacy, issued a lengthy report highlighting alleged human rights violations by the Chinese government. As a result of the government's tight control over the internet and much of the media, arbitrary detention, imprisonment, and enforced disappearance are all too common. Number 3. Internet borders. The Great Firewall of China is a massive structure that restricts access to the country's internet. Its role in China's internet censorship is to block access to specific foreign websites and slow cross-border internet traffic. As a result, it restricts access to foreign information sources and blocks foreign internet tools, such as Google, Facebook, and others. Hong Kong residents are terrified of Beijing-style internet controls, in which residents are not only restricted, but also monitored and punished for what they post online. Individuals and service providers can be ordered to remove or directly access content deemed dangerous to national security. Non-compliance can result in fines, electronic device confiscation, and imprisonment for company employees or individuals. Number 4. Ghost towns. Some Chinese cities face overcrowding, while others face the opposite problem. Modern metropolises that appear to be abandoned. Across the country, there are hundreds of ghost cities, the majority of which are part of China's larger plan to relocate up to 300 million citizens currently living in rural areas to urban areas. In doing so, the country hoped to establish itself as a visible global economic powerhouse. The most well-known example is the Kangbashi district in Inner Mongolia. The city has been under construction for at least 14 years. The area is filled with residential skyscrapers, a modern museum and library, and schools, but no one lives there. Number 5. Executions. According to Amnesty International, China is the world's leading executioner. We don't know the precise extent of China's use of the death penalty because the government keeps its data classified. However, according to Amnesty International, the country executes thousands of people each year. It may surprise you to learn that the majority of executions are for drug-related offenses. In China, drug offenses can result in extremely harsh penalties. The Chinese authorities focused their attention on foreigners who might smuggle illicit substances from other countries. There have been cases where China has executed foreigners, albeit rarely those from the West. Number 6. Gender imbalance. The literal gender imbalance China has been experiencing in recent years is a direct result of the government's strict regulations enacted decades ago. In fact, we could argue that the majority of it is due to the one-child policy, which was in place from the late 1970s and early 1980s until 2016. What became of the country after nearly 50 years of birth repression? First and foremost, let us examine why the policy has been in place for so long. Because China's population was rapidly approaching 1 billion at the time, the government decided to limit the vast majority of family units to only one child each. Male children have traditionally been preferred because they inherit the family name and property and are responsible for the care of elderly parents. To give you an idea, the total number of selective abortions performed between 1980 and 2017 was approximately 28.66 million. The country now has the most in the world. Birth-sex ratio is skewed, with approximately 33 million more men than women.